Hello, friends. Raise a hand, and I want you to put down 5 fingers. If you saw the title of this video and immediately thought, I bet I know more than 5 ways that corporate America is not for me. Put them all down at once, raise them into a fist. We are rocking in the same struggle, right? Oh my God. So this video, first, welcome to the channel. I am Nicole. This is Loved and Listened To. I talk about stuff that affects my mental health on this channel, and I also post other stuff sometimes. So subscribe. I would love to have you around. Okay, so this video is sponsored by Work Stress. Work Stress, get some today at your local CVS. No. So this video was really inspired by maybe the last 2 to 3 weeks of my life with work and stuff. And I have just come to the realization that I may not be the best fit for a corporate America kind of job, and that is okay. So I thought I would make this video and kind of share some of my thoughts, some of the things that have come to me as realizations. I would share some of those things with you guys. So if you are a young person thinking about taking kind of like a regular 9 to 5 and you're thinking like this is going to be my whole life forever, if that's you, watch this video. If you are already working in the corporate space, watch this video, because you're gonna be like, oh my God, I feel seen, I feel understood. And if you just like my hair, watch this video. Okay, so let's get into the first thing. So this topic of this video is 5 ways to know corporate America is not for you. So briefly, what is corporate America? So that's like a very vague term, but basically it just describes any place that is an absolute hellscape and you use Zoom or Microsoft Teams or Slack to communicate within the hell space, okay? Are we all caught up? Awesome, okay. So number 1, the first way that you can know that corporate America is not for you is you feel like you don't have the right kind of ego to participate in corporate America politics. Or I should say, you don't have the right kind of ego to effectively participate in the politics. By far, the number 1 thing that I have hated about every job that I've had, is the politics. Like, not just working with people, but having to know like the right thing to say and the right person to talk to. Like, basically so much of your work not being judged, but instead your ability to play the game. Not Monopoly. It's not a fun game. It's not chess. It's like if checkers was real stupid. That is what I feel like corporate America politics are like. And I think it takes a certain kind of ego to thrive in the corporate America space. And that might not be you. It is not me. What does that look like? So for me, that looks like I am not going to argue with you about no foolishness. I'm just not. That also looks like I am not seeking to constantly tell other people what to do. I am not trying to be nosy to see if Sally turned in her TPS report on time or not. I am not trying to be a jerk to the new hires. I am not trying to find conflict where there does not have to be any. That really goes throughout my entire life. I would not call myself conflict averse. I call myself conflict smart. That means if you want to get froggy, I'll jump with you if I have to. But for the most part, I am just seeking to live in peace. I'm just trying to do my work and go home. That's it. But if you have already worked in corporate spaces, you've probably already encountered people who feel like it is their job, part of the job responsibilities, literally, to keep up mess and confusion and conflict, to manufacture conflict where there is none. I work with a person like this, and they're not my favorite, actually. So if you don't have that kind of like ego to not only like participate in the foolishness, but also help to manufacture more of it, then corporate America honestly may not be for you. Number two, this is somewhat related to number one. You know, in these videos, they're all kind of like interrelated. So number two is you work alone really well. Why is this not a good match for working in the corporate America space? If you work for a really big company, like you will probably have to work with other people. And as a person who works alone really well, that's actually like not that bad. It becomes bad when there's a lot of bureaucracy, there's a lot of red tape. It takes forever to get anything done. It takes forever to get a decision to be made. So a person who works alone really well can typically you can like just do things. You can be really efficient, right? Like if you work alone by yourself and you can get stuff done, if you can get stuff done in your personal life or whatever, when you step into the corporate space and you have to have like 18 people on a Zoom call review a one-page document, that is going to drive you bonkers. I say that because I live that and I know that, therefore I can tell it to you, okay? It's whack. It's whack. I'm not telling you to not work with other people. I recently had an experience where I got to work with somebody else, one other person, and it was fantastic. But in the corporate space, it seems very rare to be able to work by yourself and like get something totally done and like out there with just yourself, or just with like one other person, two other people, like a small team. Corporate America is so full of wasteful energy and meetings that it takes forever to get anything done. And that kind of stuff will probably drive a person who works well by themselves, a person who can be efficient by themselves, will probably drive that kind of person crazy. So it might not be the best fit for you if that describes you. Number three, related to number two, you embrace new ideas and can change your mind quickly, which I put in parentheses. It's also a sign of intelligence. But also, okay, I'm going to stay on track. I had another thought, but I'm going to stay on track. You embrace new ideas and can change your mind quickly. One of the things I hate the most about working like on a big team in corporate America is a lot of the times the people who end up like in really high positions are very egoic, and they think like in a negative way, and they think like, oh, whatever I think is right and whatever I think is what we should do. And you could have one person like that, but if they are in like a managerial position, or if they have a very aggressive personality, they can override what is not only just like a different idea or a new idea, but they can override just plain old common sense. Just common sense. Should we build a car with 3 wheels or 4? Well, the car with 3 wheels will roll, and Tim, who's the manager, he likes 3 wheels. So even though we're going to market this car as a 4-wheeler, Tim likes 3 wheels, so we're going to put 3 on it. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, that sounds like an asinine example, but things that I have experienced are not much less asinine, okay? So if you are a person who can adapt to new ideas, you have your own new ideas, you can change your mind which is a sign of intelligence. People who are really, really intelligent do not go around thinking that they know everything. Like if you think about Neil deGrasse Tyson, this is like a smart person who just came to my mind. This dude is like constantly learning. Like you listen to him talk, he very frequently admits like he doesn't know when he talks about something that happens in space. He's like, we don't know this. We don't know. When you really become intelligent, emotional intelligence, or just like navigating the world kind of intelligence, general intelligence, when you really get to that point, you will be like, oh, there's so many things I don't know. And there's no way you're going to go into a room and just like tell everybody else, like, oh, you guys are stupid. We got to do it my way. Like that part of you melts away, because becoming truly more intelligent is, in my opinion, taming of the ego. These things cannot exist. You cannot have a healthy relationship with your ego and also like just constantly be telling people like they're wrong and you're not listening. Those things, that's oil and water, doesn't mix. So in corporate America, a lot of times things move so slowly because people who have the authority to make decisions, they don't want to embrace new ideas. They don't want to admit that they're wrong. They don't want to pivot. They don't want to take a new approach. They want to say buzzwords, but like, let's become synergized and like, let's circle back. Like they want to say buzzwords, but they don't actually want to, in real life, do things that could be, new, different, whatever, right? So if you work in like research and development, this may not apply to you. But for the average kind of pencil pusher type of person like I am, you probably work with a lot of people who are very stuck in doing things the way that they already know how to do them, and purposefully shooting down new ways of doing things. If that sounds like you, then throw in the towel. Boop. Corporate America is not for you. Number 4, you don't want to be punished for being good at something. I know by now you have probably heard one of these lines where it's like, don't be good at your job. It goes, the reward for good work is more work. The reward for good work is more work. It sounds crazy, but across several industries where I have friends, we talk about our jobs and stuff, right? This happens across the board. This is really frustrating because it teaches people who are good at their jobs, people who present new ideas or whatever, it teaches people who are good at their jobs to stay quiet, and therefore inhibits efficiency and innovation and things like that. Because if you're good at your job, you may have some new ideas, whatever, to share. You may do work more efficiently. In my case, I do work more efficient than I think a lot of the other people do that I work with, right? And I want to share, like, oh, you can do it this way to make it more efficient or whatever. But in the past, when I've done that, it's like, oh, Nicole knows how to do. Nicole can put together 3 cars while everybody else is doing 1. So let's just give her more cars to put together, instead of spreading knowledge around and getting everybody up to being able to put together 3 cars. This is how things oftentimes work in corporate America spaces, right? This is frustrating for me because no matter if I like the job or not, I always want to do a good job, right? So if I had to mop a floor with a toothbrush, I absolutely do not want to mop the floor with a toothbrush. But it's just innate. Like, I'm going to try my best to get the floor clean with the toothbrush, right? This particular kind of way that things work in corporate America, where you're basically punished by doing a good job, with more work, it's frustrating because I've had to teach myself to perform at the level of like what the manager might expect, not at the level that I can really get to, because I don't want to be punished, or because I don't want to be responsible for having to train everybody. I don't want to be responsible for having to fix other people's work. And all of those things have happened to me in real life. So working in this kind of environment is so much more frustrating because I am like performing mediocrity in an attempt to protect myself. And I hate it. I hate it so much. I'm trying to protect myself so the treatment that I receive is fair. But in order to do that, I have to have like this performative mediocrity, which is insane. If you think about it, it's insane. I hate it. Not a fan. 0 out of 10 recommend. So if that sounds like a convoluted ass situation to you, first, you're right, it is. And second, corporate America might not be for you. And number 5, related to number 4. Number 5, you question the way things are done. You question authority, and you have questions in a genuine way. Okay, so what do I mean by you have like genuine questions? You question things in a genuine way. I put that as a qualifier because I'm not saying like just go out and be a rebel rouser for no good reason. I've worked with people who will just ask asinine questions, stupid ass questions, like for no reason, or they just dissent for no reason. Like, I don't want to do that. And it's like, there's no reason why, right? So I'm not telling you to be that kind of person. But if you genuinely have questions that are like, why do we not do X, Y, Z in this way? Like, this other way is more efficient, it's better, it would save money, or whatever. If you have questions like that, you work in a place and your questions are ignored, or like people get all up in arms because you may want to introduce a new idea or something like that. A lot of times that happens in corporate spaces, and it definitely sucks. Corporate America might not be the best place for you. Another place that may not be a good place for you if you have genuine, honest questions about things is organized religion. Also not set up to answer your questions, but that's for another video and maybe another channel, okay? You can let me know if you want me to talk about that. I will talk about that. But any system that you place yourself in, or that you find yourself in, because like in the case of religion, most people are like raised in it. They don't choose it. But with a job, you can choose it, right? So any system that you find yourself in, if it's a good system, you should be able to question whatever things, people, processes, whatever, you should be able to question those people, those processes, the way that things are done. Because a good system, to me, this is my own opinion, a good system to me is dynamic. A good system has to be questioned in order for it to support the people within the system. If your system does not allow questions, if the system is not dynamic, then there's always some people who are like in charge of keeping the things the way that they are, and then it's everybody else. And if you're the everybody else especially, it's not going to be a system that works for you. You can actually apply this logic to a lot of different things, not just, at work. You can apply this in a partnership. If you cannot talk to your partner and ask them questions and it feel easy, it feel okay to do, then somewhere there's a power imbalance, right? They have more power than you do. And this system, this relationship, will never be supportive of you because there is a power imbalance. So it's the same thing with your job. If you work at a job where you feel like, oh my God, I can't ask any questions, I cannot provide any new ideas. I can't say oh, we should do it this way or whatever. If the environment is that static, you probably you don't want to work there. You don't want to work there. I'm not saying, you go in your first day and be like, we should switch to Dell computers, okay? Because I like Dell. But if you have some experience and some support for whatever, your idea might be, you should be able to ask the question hey, can we do it this way? Woot, woot, woot. To me, that seems healthy. And in a lot of corporate spaces, that's not what you're going to find. You're going to find a bunch of people who are in control, and in order to maintain that control, they will keep things running in a stupid way, in a way that wastes money, in a way that wastes time, in a way that just makes you have to have a meeting every week about the same thing. And that is so terrible. It's a terrible, terrible thing. And if you feel that way, you may not belong in corporate America. Do I have any solutions for you to how to fix your crappy job? I don't get a new one. Try to get a new one. Maybe try to go to a different industry where innovation is more valued. Maybe try to work for yourself. That's not for everybody though. But if you can tolerate working for yourself, it's a lot of work, but maybe you'll be happier doing it. I don't know. All right, so that's my rant about corporate America, sponsored by Work Stress. Don't forget, pick some up at your local CVS. It's on sale every Monday through Friday, probably for free. They'll just give it to you for free. Go to the counter. You got some of that Work Stress? They have some. They have some. You have some. I have some. There you go. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe, share with a friend, maybe get a laugh out of us all being miserable together. Like the video, comment below, let me know what you think, and I'll see you in the next one. Namaste.